this is what you were struggling with, that you called yourself a wretched man. What happened? Up until this point, he said the law of the flesh, the law of sin was overriding the law of God. But the moment he said there is no condemnation to them that are in Christ Jesus, instantly he said they walk not after the flesh but after the spirit. And then verse 2, he now told us what happens. He said, for the law of the spirit of life which is in Christ Jesus have set me free from the law of sin and death. What did Paul teach us here? That to activate the law of life, you must come to an end of yourself. You must come to a point where, like Paul, you see yourself as a wretched man. I've struggled, it doesn't work. What do I now do? I rely on the finished works of Christ. I put my dependence on Jesus. So if you are still able to struggle, he said you will lose. So what do? Rely on Christ, because you have seen no good in you. Paul said when you come to an end of yourself and you submit to the finished works of Christ, he said that position is what activates the law of life. And he said the moment the law of life is activated, it terminates the law of sin and death. Now see the contrast Paul gave in verse 3. He said what the law of Moses could not do, what rules and regulation could not do. I gave myself rules. I fasted for 10 months. I still masturbated. I gave myself laws. I still walked in sin. He said what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, he said God sending his own son. So this my realization and reliance of Jesus awakened something in me that did what the law of Moses could not do. That's why I tell you, to live above sin is not about rules and regulations. Yes, there is a place where you clear yourself from all of those things that will stir you up into sin. But for you to live above sin, number one, you must reckon that you are dead to sin and alive in God. Number two, you must come to an end of yourself and rely on Jesus Christ. Rely on his finished works. Rely on his finished work. When you do that, Paul said the law of life is activated. But Paul still didn't stop there, because the journey continues. He now went to verse 5. Now that the law of life has been activated, Paul now said you need to start doctoring your mind. He said to be carnally minded is death. He said but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. I have relied on Jesus. He has activated the law of life.